What is up, guys and girls? Archer Gaming here, and this is the live Q&A. So we've hit this up ready for part of the upload challenge I am doing to raise funds for the GoFundMe to get me to the L5R Worlds this year. So far it's 9 PM UK time. Managed to get a couple of videos up, not much, where I did have a bit of work this morning to do. We're starting up. We've got the next stream coming up after this for L5R. So we'll take a little break after I've done this, as this might actually take a lot longer than I was anticipating. So I was expecting around sort of the optimistically 40 question mark. We're currently looking live at the list now at around about 100. Some of them are duped questions, so I've tried to eliminate those, but there's not many of them. So we've got some clicks questions, some L5R questions, some questions not even to do with either, all sorts of questions really, and they're all getting everyone one entry into the prizes, the relevant prizes for each one. So anyone who asks a question on the HeroClix page will get entered into the draw to win the Wolverine and ID card, and anyone who asks anything on the L5R 1 will be entered into that draw for a Silver Clan Champ Worlds promo of their choice. So that's really cool. So I thought it'd be really cool to give two prizes out. So the other additional way to get tickets, so you can still ask questions. I'll try and answer them on a live stream. But to donate, every £1 you donate towards this cause will get you one entry. So if you donated a tenner, that's 10 more entries, plus ask the question, that's 11. So we've managed to raise £25 in funding today already, out of our target of around 200. So about 175 to go on there. So we are looking really, really well. So we've got 3 watching live now. So again, if you've got any questions, hit them in the front and we will start. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to do a few L5R questions and a few from the HeroClix ones and bounce between the two. Okay, so we're going to try and limit this at the next hour and a half at least. I don't know how long it's going to take. I've never done this before. So let's go to the L5R questions first. So we are at 51 comments. So let's go up to the top. So first question we do have Konstantin Kalefer. I do apologise if I butcher any names as well. So he asks, which clan do I think has the best chances of winning Winter Court? And maybe a brief explanation as to why I think that. So Jonathan Schmidt asked a similar question, who I think could win. To be honest, I think it's quite wide and open. If I was a betting man, Scorpion would be where my money goes. They seem to have all the answers at the moment. There seems to be a very strong clan still. Going into this, you know, you will have the clan pack legal for Worlds as well, which isn't going to disadvantage them. I feel Lion are in with a strong point at the moment. They seem to be doing really well in this Elemental Challenge season, which seems to be happening between sort of Worlds, between the end of the Kotai season and the Elemental cycle coming out, and Worlds. Phoenix could be a little dark horse in there. I don't think they will win it though. I think they should still be well represented, but I don't think they're going to do it. Dragon, again, looking strong at the back end of the Kotai season and across the Elemental Challenge season as well. So I wouldn't be surprised for them to win it. Crane could surprise everyone. Haven't won a major event yet, but are always thereabouts, sort of top 4, top 8. So Crane could be a possible of winning Worlds. Unicorn, again, almost like playing a new faction at the moment, so that I kind of still are a step behind, but they have an awesome character coming out in the clan pack as well for the Scorpion, which could help as well. So I think, and Crab as well. Crab is still strong. Again, playing a new style of deck, which again is going to throw a spanner into the works going into Worlds. So I think it is proper busted, but I feel busted wide open as in who could win. But I do believe the odds-on favourite are Scorpion. Sorry. I think it would be foolish to bet against them. But obviously, you know, I like my own chances as well of repping the unicorn and getting to Worlds. So Liam Hall, on the same sort of subject as Worlds, so where do you think the highest unicorn will finish? I think top 8 is a very reasonable chance. Possibly even top 4. I'd love to see him win. I'd love to see me win. Don't play games to be non-competitive. I think top 8. I strongly think they could be one of the either third or fourth best clan overall. I feel top 8 is very, very achievable, which is strange when you're talking about a 7 clan game. You know, there's still a lot of possibilities, but I feel unicorn going forward could really cause a pain for a lot of decks that aren't expecting it. So I'm gonna stick with top 8. Obviously, I'd love to see him win it, but I feel top 8 is very, very reasonable. Troger Jones asks, who do I feel will win the K-pop dance-off? Well, that ain't gonna be me. So for those who don't know, the Sixth Ring and Darren from Troll5R merged them together to start a K-pop dance-off, and then some other podcasters to throw in their hat into there. Along with myself, I have also chucked my hat into the ring. So I'm not going to reveal what song I'm doing, but there will be something up on the channel about that very soon. We're sort of working on it, and if I do make it to Worlds. And who do I feel will win it? I think Melissa's in with a good chance. You know, I mean, it's being judged by an actual dance teacher now. Who knows? Who really knows on that one? But yeah, Melissa's in with a good chance. Possibly Darren could be a little bit of a dark horse in this if you can do something funny. Yeah. Alex Freddy asks, is this real? Yes. Yes, it is. Andrew Cartwright asks, what's my favourite interaction or combo, both for practical competitive use and jank? No need for them to be the same one. So I love doing... so one interaction I am loving at the moment is going in for a military with Moto Nagui for the water ring. Then putting a big attacker out, me just sending her back because of glory. Winning the water ring and then bowing the person I've just sent home. So they're still bowed as a conflict but haven't been in the conflict. I think that's good fun. Again, it's a bit too clunky, so I would almost call it janky. I think there's some good fun with Unleash Jin. Unleash Jin's always fun, especially with something like Border Fortress. So I had a game with Jakoku recently. Border Fortress, was playing around with that. Flipped, rallied to the cause after I triggered Force of the River. So I played Force of the River, Unleash Jin, switch it on a military attack. But I was playing against Lion. They were winning. They had a tutorial out. It was double Force of the Lion, double Way of the Lion. So I was on a base stat of like 40 on his own. It was dumb. They also had like Alliance by Brawler, all sorts. So flipped it politically after playing Unleash Jin. All his guys got down to 3 stats. And I was suddenly winning politically, which was good fun. So that'll be a good janky combo, is flipping it when you're defending politically after playing Unleash Jin, because it's a 3/3 stat, so suddenly my 1 dashes become 3/3s. I do love Force of the River and Unleash Jin. It's a great combo, and then triggering the box off the guys who are going to be sacked anyway, and then bringing them back to camp reserves. I think other janky combos, like I say, my own Onigiri into the water ring, Hawk Tattoo, Miromoto's Fury, but obviously that's changed now. And yeah, some good fun decks, good fun combos. So we answered John Schmidt, top clans for Worlds. Again, Dragon, Crane, or Scorpion would be my top 3, with Unicorn. I think they're the best 4 clans. The Chance or Lion. I think the only ones who won't win it are Phoenix. That's it, really. Or Crab. I don't think Crab have the oomph right now. So, Joseph Martin does ask, if the restricted list got an update, what do you think it would look like? I feel Reprieve would go on there. There's a lot of call for that at the moment. There's also a lot of call for Cav reserves. Talisman. I don't think anything would overly surprise me. I think if there was some weak cards, something like Wandering Ronin was put on there. I think Hidden Moon Dojo would go on there. Playing against that and the way they've restricted charge and other ways, I think if Cav reserves did go on there, Hidden Moon Dojo would. Along with possibly Backhanded Compliment. It's the only way of the game of actually just flat out winning. I mean, my friend done it against me the other day with Levy and pinned me for 6 honor out of 6 cards. And there's nothing I could do. I was out of Fate, played a Goblin Sneak, and then just Levy, give me an honor, because you can't give me Fate, give me an honor, give me an honor, give me an honor, backhand, backhand, backhand. I mean, yeah, that is a bit of a god jaw, but going from 6 honor to losing the game with nothing I can do about it, it's a bit crap, to be honest. So I could see Hidden Moon Dojo and Backhanded going on there. Hidden Moon Dojo, again, is one of, so maybe not, but the way they are trying to penalise cheaper characters, penalise ways of getting things in. Possibly even Ambush as well. If they go in the Cavs reserve, I think they kind of would have to take Ambush out as well. Feels like I'm picking on Scorp, but Reprieve as well. I don't think Hortatu anymore. Yeah, I think that's a good little fun list. Possibly Pathfinder's Blade coming back. I can't see why it was restricted in the first place, to be honest. I don't think it's as broken as people make out. I think it's cards similar to that in the game now, like Finger of Jade. So yeah. Right, so let's hop across to some HeroClix questions. So we know where we are for that. So let's have a quick look. So the first question we have is Jay Sly asking, what American vernacular is the weirdest to you? And then a gift with a bear. No idea. No idea what you're on about. So, yeah. Mark Hafferkamp asks, does meta make me feel dirty, good, or both? So I'm going to put this in a lot of games. I'm not really a meta player. I will play at a competitive level and I play well at a competitive level. But I've never been one of going, ooh, that's in the meta, I'm going to play that. I play stuff I enjoy. So HeroClix is the example right here. So something like, you know, Unimind, I hate playing, never play it. Goblin King was meta, and I played that because I like the Dark Avengers keyword. Not because it's Goblin King and he's OP, but because I love Dark Avengers. So that kind of made me... It depends. Like, playing a boring meta team would make me feel horrible. I wouldn't enjoy myself at a tournament. If what I'm playing I enjoy and happens to be meta, then it makes me feel good. Like, if I'm enjoying playing a meta list, then it's a bit different. So I wouldn't say it makes me feel dirty. It just... You know, I get why people do it, but I'd rather play to have fun, but play to a high enough standard that I'm not losing. Hence Unicorn. Okay. So, next question we have is from Christian Pinania. So, what are my thoughts on WKO Shadowcat? I think she's solid. I think she's a bit overpriced. Without having a card up me, I can't remember what she does off the top of my head. But I feel like she is good fun. Again. Matthew and Randall asked me, what makes me want to start Archer Gaming? So, I started this ages ago when I first started playing 40k under the channel of Marcus69. So the reason I started then is I kind of wanted to track my progress in gaming. So it was very small. I think the first video got like 4 views. And to me, that was really cool. To me, that was like 4 people interested in my shit. And it kind of kept growing from there. Like, I've stalled away from it a little bit and gone back to it. And obviously the channel's evolved. Technology's evolved even. I mean, a crappy iPhone 3GS camera wasn't great quality. I actually went back and watched those videos the other day and it was funny. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to keep a track and keep a social. And sort of as I started playing more and started going to 40k events, I found that playing 40k, I enjoyed, and I enjoyed the aspect of people kind of knew who I was. Like I was going to events on my own, or with the intention of meeting people I spoke to on the internet. People like Warhammer, through Warhammer networking, so people like Martin McNeil and people like that, and you'd see them and it'd be cool. Same as going to somewhere like Salute, people sort of recognise you, and it was a kind of cool feeling, and I missed it, and it was really nice, feeling like I already knew some people, or some people just even approaching me, which was really cool to have, really cool to see, and for me it was a bigger deal than it was. So I've just kept it going, and sometimes I do look back and go, "Oh, that was funny. Remember when I used to play that?" Or look through memories as well. Obviously, I try and post a lot about tournaments and events and cons I go to and stuff like that. And also as well, it's just mainly for me to remember my memories and stuff like that. And it's really cool, and show my progress as well throughout the hobby and how I've evolved through it. And then people start to like it and watch it, and it just kept going. Then slowly from the Facebook, it went into Instagram went from the YouTube to Instagram and Facebook. I only started Instagram a couple of months ago, and we're already doing really well on that. And it's just nice. And then things like the GoFundMe. Someone suggested it in a podcast, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to go for it. No one else wants to. I'm going to go for it. I can't afford to go. I want to go. I'm getting married next year. So this is the first time I've ever actually asked for anything on the channel. And it's made me amazing to see the response, like, which just made me feel good. So Craig Daly asked me, what's my opinion of playing a duplicate or multiple named characters during a tournament play? Strategy versus creativity. Again, this ties into my whole meta conversation. I don't like boring stuff, and running 4 of the same dude is boring. Be my honest answer. I hate playing against it competitively because you kind of, especially in cliques, as everyone can be at a slightly different point. I mean, generics is fine. I get that. I fill up the roster. I do it. But playing multiple of the same character is just awful. You forget which one you're not intentionally, but sometimes you can miscommunicate your action plans based on what the characters are playing. Then Phil Cook asks, what other licenses would make good cliques of figures? Now we've also had a Timothy asked this later on down the line. So sort of other than TMT and Star Trek, obviously we got the WWE announcement, which I thought was awesome. And Power Rangers. I would love a Power Ranger set. I'd love a Tommy the White Ranger. Clicks. As you can see behind me by my pops, a Power Ranger fan. Get some Megas or Colossals. I think that would be awesome and dope. I think that would be awesome. So many possibilities. And weapons and things like that. I think that would be really cool. So let's go back to the L5R questions. So let me just load this up. Sorry, I've not done this very professional. Just load this back up. So, Mac Roscoe asks, who is my favourite character? Who is my favourite Dynasty character in the game, and why? So in terms of just straight out pay for a character from Dynasty, Border Rider. There's no argument in readying yourself. So much fun. Just she's oddly a Cloud the Mind target quite a lot, and things like that. Which again, I don't mind. I'd rather you Cloud her than someone useful. She's still very useful. I mean, getting into 2 or 3 conflicts a turn is fun. But yeah. But in terms of actual character, again, I am going to have to go Unicorn a bit more. I do love Mojo Juro. When he came out, he was amazing. Kind of the clan champ we should have got the first time. Don't make me start on Shoju and Sorado. But yeah, it was awesome. And flavor-wise, I like the Motos. They're just hyper-aggressive. Alex Forden asks, what do I think about the recent rule changes, and are ultimately like mean no more extra fate for going second. So I did explain all this in the video I'd done at the time. I feel like it was too much of an advantage going second. I think now it opens up opportunity. You may want to go first to pass a bit earlier, but you may want the fate balance for the second round. So I think it really does depend. I think it's a bit more of a strategical choice now against what you're playing, but obviously you're not really meant to reveal that. So that's something you've got to be careful of, especially going into Worlds. I'm actually considering not taking my purple deck bots to give even people less of a clue. But obviously I will have my name badge with Unicorn Mon on it. People might recognise me anyway as a Unicorn player, so I'm not too worried. But I feel like it is maybe a bit of a strategical advantage. Going first now, depending on what you're playing. So, who is my favourite family in Rokugan, Minor Clan, and Great Clan, including, again, Moto's hyper aggressive. If I can make Daimyo of the Unicorn Clan, that will actually be my choice to go to court on behalf of the Unicorn Clan. Will be Moto, because it'll be funny. Literally captive audience it. There's a card in the game, the fluff that's there. So Jeff Hansen asked a similar question to Alex did about what do I feel about the fate and having a bigger handback on Hawk Tattoo errata for Worlds. So Hawk Tattoo didn't bother me as much. I kind of enjoyed it when people played on me. I would have moved 2-10. I'm a movement-based clan, like you can move me in and then I can move myself out. And then I've got a +1 military for my next attack. Or something like Shenna Encampment, things like that. The cards like that didn't bother me as a Unicorn player. I can see why they changed it, and I can see the frustration of it. But for me, it wasn't as big of a deal as people were making out. Liam MJ Harrison asks, with the Scorpion Clan pack expanding on a different player style for other clan, what do you hope to see in other clan packs during the next year? So I hope to see a dueling deck for Crane or on a Rocket or both. That would be awesome. Maybe a Monk Stronghold. I know they used to have that in old 5R, but a Monk Stronghold would be good fun for the Dragon. Phoenix already had theirs. Lion, again, just more military aggro. But maybe more characters to try and focus on more of a streamline. I need this one dude to break your stronghold. So it kind of diversifies them from the Unicorn Clan. And Unicorn are just, I've got 15 one costs out. So I think that's sort of my optimism for the clan packs. Yeah. We have Chris Green, he's a friend of mine from my local play group. So he's asking, what clan role do you think my clan should go for and why? And if I'm feeling brave, feel free to expand on other clans. So this might actually be a video topic a bit later on this evening. I'm halfway through writing it, but I don't know enough about other clans. So I'm thinking I might do it after I spoke to some reps from other clans. So if you do want to rep your other clan, drop me a message and we'll have a little conversation about it. But what clan role should we go for? I think Seeker of Water wouldn't be a bad shout. Seeker roles, just because I feel like they would go better with our new box, especially being able to change what province you're attacking. It seems to be a lot of provinces which are penalising you at the moment, like Upholding Authority, the one which discards a Dishonored Dude, Feast or Famine, stuff you don't want to be breaking at the wrong time. Obviously we still have tools like Issue and Wayfinder who can really help, but being able to move helps a lot. And then again, imagine just confusing someone going for their fourth province as opposed to their stronghold, them defending with no one, then using movement tricks to bring in everyone and switch to their stronghold and break it with no defending, and it gives them a second thought. Water roll, because I feel like there's some slightly good water cards, or either fire, Feast of Famine and Alicia Shin. But we have quite a good water card as well. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. but either Water of Fire and Seeker. I'll probably go Seeker of Fire so we can run back to 2 fire provinces. Or even Seeker of Air, having a couple of air provinces might not be a worse thing. Plus as well with the Seeker roll, they flip Feast or Famine, we get a fate from it. I think Feast or Famine is still strong. So let's go back across to the HeroClix questions. So, sorry, it's all just loading. So we are currently at Marco Sandoran. So he asks, how do I think HeroClix is going in Europe and in my country, so England, these days, both from a perspective of distribution and the gaming community? So for the gaming community, it's good. It seems to be very pocketed in England, but that's the same with most games. It seems to be little pockets here and there and everywhere. So I play down at Bournemouth, we've got quite a big pocket here. Manchester, sort of Brighton, and the Isle of Wight seems to be sort of the pockets down south, and London. So I feel in terms of player base, it's still going pretty strong. There's a solid turnout of nationals, 32 players. Hoping to obviously expand again on that this year. And Europe, nationals again seem to be matching US levels, unlike L5R, which I do have a question for in a bit. It's very, very even, the USA, and I think the USA does have more of a turnout, but they also have RSC events, which is something that doesn't happen in England. Gamer versus Cancer is always a big event as well for clicks. Distribution, this is awful in Europe. It's sort of 2 months behind everything, but we don't get a distance in rotation. So things that rotate out, we have sort of 2-3 months less to play with. The meta's already out in America, plus the figures have already dropped in value. So there's no real surprises anymore. Going into sealed, you can find the full set and probably buy it for 200 quid on eBay in the US before UK even has it, which I think is a real shame, and something that needs to be fixed. It doesn't happen in any other games I can think of anymore. Just distribution, it just doesn't happen with clicks, which is a shame. I mean, we've only just got Turtles out, and I mean, I've traded figures in the USA because they're bored of them at this point before we even got it in this country, which I think is a shame. But yeah, distribution's bad, but the community's still here for it. So, Aris Edge asks, what 5 figures in the game right now are shaping the play format, including the new set coming from Battle World? All new Wolverine, and Wolverine still with the ID cards, still controlling the battle. Blackbird as well. Unimind can still show up and throw people off. There's a lot. Groot, Carnage. It's just meta pieces. I think the Thor will, and quite a few of the super rares and chasers for Battle Worlds will. But I'm not, again, a little bit behind on the meta with clicks at the moment. I know Blackbird is super shaping the meta again, so we'll have to see what goes from there. Bear with me one moment. So we have Simon Fox, and he asks, how do I feel about the recent sets for both upcoming and the last few years? It seems to be dominated largely by Marvel sets, and those Marvel sets being limited to largely X-Men and Avengers only. Battle World, Miss and Doom, and the Fantastic Four. Would I prefer to see more DC? And again, how do I feel about their choices largely related to Batman? Or what's your opinions on Star Trek? Largely meant to be one question, but fleshed out. Let's go a bit more depth than what has been said. So, do I feel there's too much sort of DC Marvel sets? Yes, I think the limit is IPing at the moment a little bit. Obviously, they're the major two. I don't care for the Star Trek. I don't like Star Trek. I think they still have IPs that they're not using as much. I could do another couple of gravity feeds with something like Pacific Rim again, but Colossals. I mean, just even as the OP prizes, just say, hey, we still got this cool stuff. But yeah, I'm starting to get a bit bored of just Marvel, DC, Marvel, DC. I would love to have seen the Turtles as gravity feeds, personally. Again, I think they do have some cool licensing. I would love to see the WWE not as a gravity feed, but in bricks again. Same as what they've done with Star Trek initially, which I know they've changed. And yeah, I mean, come back with some Fantastic Four. Now Marvel are getting them back. There's no reason why not. Just do a pure Fantastic Four set. You know, I'd love to see a Siege set. That's something I'd find amazing. Obviously, I am a Dark Avengers fanboy, but Siege would be awesome set to get. Even something like Nightmare Before Christmas would be pretty cool. More stuff like the horror, even generics and indie clicks, that'd be cool to see those back. There's a couple of gravity feeds. I mean, I'm just looking behind me for inspiration. I mean, indie clicks would be awesome. You know, get stuff like Predator and Aliens again. You know, I mean, you could do a entire like brick on those. There's enough of random crap in them. Get some Arnie clicks. Lovely. And then Sarah Sexar Pill asks, what is the rarest HeroClix I own? So in terms of actual figure, I don't know. The hardest figure for me to get was the super rare Sentry and Chase Void from Chaos War. Again, as I've said, huge Dark Avengers fan, and they were just a pain to find. And I'm lucky a friend of mine had them. I was like, just have them, which was really cool. So yeah, that was really cool. So that was probably my rarest piece because it was my hardest piece to get. So Andrea Lombardo asks, what do I think about the new partnership with WWE and WizKids? Should this be modern legal? And is the format of an entire set not legal and modern is worth? So I don't think it's worth it. They need to put them in modern. If not, what's the point? No meta player is going to go out and buy a brick. They do it for a bit of fun. That's it. It needs to be in the meta. Sorry, not even in the meta. Sorry, legal for tournaments. Again, it goes back to the prior discussion of just DC Marvel. Yeah. I mean, I would love to have Muhammad Ali, Batman, Raphael, and you know, and John Cena on a team. But John Cena on a Batman team. See me stealth. Just everyone with stealth. Just fun stuff like that. Would be cool. So last one from the HeroClix ones for now. So Colin Mackey asks, over the years there have been a lot of sets with specific items or rules mechanics such as flash speed tokens, clicks FS bases. They seem to be dropped after a set or two. In my view, what of these game mechanics should WK keep and these ideas going? Okay, so what should they keep, I think, is the question. I feel maybe FX bases were cool. I think they stopped needing to fad and either add something for a few sets, add it as a permanent thing, but only keep it for like 4 or 5 figures. Pretty cool. Like one on each rarity will have this effect. One on each rarity will have this effect. So that's just FX bases. Speed tokens, there's no reason to keep them going across flashes. Even shift in focus figures in different sets for the same character. Something like another couple of shift in focuses Punishers, just so you can mix them all up. And stuff like that would be cool. Yeah. It's good to see shift and focus back in this Battle World set. But yeah. And okay, lovely. So let's go across to the L5R questions. So, let's find it. So, someone else asked, so Showton asks, what role should Crab vote for in the Worlds? None of the ones I want. flat answer. Someone's put Seeker of Earth. I think they need to get away from Earth. Do something fun. Go fire, water. Fire could be fun with crab, I suppose. Void, maybe. Void, get Shameful and Pilgrimage on that back line. Again, just make stuff even harder to break. I think Crab have a good few choices. Again, I don't know too much about Crab to comment. But I feel like a Void roll might not be the worst shout for him. So Thomas Manero asks about world prizes, and also I'm gonna combine this in with Daniel Spavuk's question. So, what was my favourite prize when I saw they announced the Winter Court, and why? So instantly I fell in love with the binder. At the time I was looking at buying one of the top 32 ones for Game of Thrones and Destiny from Euros or Nationals, so the one with the European logo or the one with the US logo on, just because I want a cool trade binder. So the second they announced that, I was like, yes, that's mine. And was super happy about that. So to see that was pretty cool. Then in regards to other stuff we saw, I feel the Shameful backhanded compliments are really cool. The mats are beautiful. The Gold Clan champs are really unique as well. So this goes into Daniel's question about the gold and silver champs. I like them. I feel like maybe we should move away from alt art clan champs at this point. I'm starting to get a little bit, not bored of them, but there's variations of them already. There's already the full arts. I feel like maybe they could have done some of the other 5 costers. Something like Moto Juro, Tadaka, Bird Person from Crane. There's quite a few other characters, like other expensive named characters, which people are almost using as their clan champ, which could have been fun. But yeah, they look really pretty. It's the point of the gold and silver. I love the fact that they are different. One, you have to compete and come top 8 in clan, which, as I said in my news video a couple of days ago, that shouldn't be that hard to do. Essentially, it's a top 56, which I don't know how many they are having in Worlds, but that's about half the people. Well, a good chunk of people should get them. So most people who make the cut will get one. So I'm really hoping to get the gold Shinzo Asune. And then the silver ones are nice because they are going to be more easy to get at other people's secondary clans. Even though I'm not going to use mine ever, it would just be a cool memento to have, and I'll probably do some form of frame for it and put it in there. That will probably be that, and the binder are the 2 main things I want to keep for me. Obviously the artwork as well was beautiful, so I want to try and keep that. When looking truly at World's quality decks, what clans have more than one build option, i.e. Dragon Voltron with Crab Splash? I think Dragon do have a second option now in the Monk deck. It's almost there. Like, someone could run it, throw someone off. So say someone gets My Mystic on their first flip. They're probably going to go in for it playing against Dragon, and not mulligan it because they're playing Dragon. Then Dragon just plays Monk and just starts spamming all these Void Fists and Hurricane Punches, and I have no attachments, but I'll be plus 40. So I think Dragon do have a second deck. It will be a lot there. Overall competitive, Scorpion might do when the plaque drops. I think I'm going to have to see a few games of it, play against it a few times to see if they really do have a viable option. Unicorn don't. Unicorn 2 is dead. That died. It tried. I think Unicorn Military is still the strongest there is. Same with Lion. Crab could do kind of like a Blitz style deck. Again, I don't know enough to comment. Phoenix Dishonor is pretty good. Along with Crane Dishonor can work really well, along with the standard decks they sort of run as well. So, I mean, I don't think there's going to be... I think there's going to be people maybe trying something a bit new at Worlds, which could really work for them or work against them. I think the game, again, has hit a weird, uncertain state for a little bit. I think Worlds will stabilise it, and then we'll find out. So, Sean Carnew asks, what is the biggest weakness of the game as it stands now with the rules update for October? So the FAQ, I don't think the game really has a weakness. I like the fact they didn't add to the restricted list. I think that would have been a weakness. Because they're kind of backing on their own development. I think changes to it are still good. And I think we will see an updated restricted list post-Worlds. But then again, I don't want a repeat of Birmingham of them changing the restricted list last minute with a week to go. I would find it funny. I would laugh a little bit. But yeah, no. I don't think there is a big weakness. I think they're changing the game for the better. I think Dragon Splash will go down. I think that's the only change, but I don't see it as a weakness of the game. Unless you mean sort of what can sneak in a lot better. Again, the big clan to worry about is still Scorpion. So I don't think they're going to change it. Liam Tormey asks, is Yorimoto his 20 best men? In the fiction, yes. In the card game, he's 2 Wandering Ronin. Yeah, I don't like him. I hate him in the actual game. I think story-wise, he's amazing. So yes, I think he could have 20 of the best men. So we've answered that. Pedro Ruz asks, can Vengeful Berserker join a military duel double his bonus with the new rules update? I don't know. I haven't checked the interaction, so I wouldn't know. CJ Deluxe asks, do you think we will see experienced versions of unique characters? For example, our Emma Champion version of Totori or Regent's Shoju card? Yes. I'll come on to this in a minute because it does tie into a question a bit further down. But yes, I do strongly think we'll start to see that. I think that's one of the features from the old game that they would like to bring back. Just going on the spine base of them already not being afraid to name 2 boxes the same. But I think they're going to have to be clever with the ruling on it. I think if we would have seen an announcement in this FAQ that here's the crack, I think that would have been like, oh, you can't have 2 of the same named characters in one deck, 2 different versions of a character in one deck. I think that would have been cool. Or if you had 2 versions of the same character in your deck, you remove one to put Fate on the other, or you can swap them out or something. Pretty cool. So we'll have to see. I think we will see one, and I'll explain why in a bit. So Thedassus Crawford asks, am I an old 5R player? If so, do you think the stories head in the same direction as it previously did? So I'm not an old L5R card game player. I've been playing the old roleplay for 3 years now. Literally, I think it was about the same sort of time FFG announced that they got the rights to it. We started playing the old campaign, I think we're playing 4th edition. I think we're playing a hybrid between 3rd and 4th. Really good fun. I love the way the story's going there. I don't think it will. I think they're going to do a very similar thing to what Disney have done with Star Wars. They're going to take some elements, twist them slightly, throw them back in there, and other stuff they're going to do what they want to do with, which I think is pretty cool. I don't mind that. They seem to be doing pretty good with the development. I'm a little bit behind on the fiction, but yeah. So Chris Cree asks, with the release of Tetsuko, will it be better to bench the other 1/2 costers or replace the 5 costers? Which card is the best to replace for Tetsuko? So I'm trying to remember who Tetsuko is. So bear with me one moment while I load that up. 5. Sorry, it's very unprofessional. Sorry, bear with me one moment. I don't want to give you false information. So Utaku Tetsuko. So she is the... Oh, she is the Emerald Magistrate. Sorry, she is the card I'm actually looking forward to from the Scorpion pack. I'm actually replacing a 4-coster in my deck currently. With the kind of gap I've left for her. I've kind of intentionally left a space for her to go in. And to think she's going to be done. I think 3-costers are a really good part of the game. Like a very solid option. They're not as expensive, so you can get 1 or 2 of them out in a turn. You know, relatively easy. They're a good charge target because you don't mind that they're going because they're 3 cost. You can bring 2 back with camp reserves. So I think 3-costers in the game, especially as a unicorn player, are a good point. Are a really solid point. They can't be assassinated, which is the key point. And that's 3 costs that are cheapest without being assassinated. So I'm putting her in at a 4-cost slot. Again, I've got the position for her. Already kind of built that in my deck. Essentially, I'm running, so when she kicks in, it will be a 5-coster, a 4-coster, 2 3-costers, and the rest is 2 1s and 0s. So I think it depends on the style of deck, depends on the style of play. If you want to use her as more of a control, Splash Lion, use Ageless Chrome, then you probably want to be replacing her with the more expensive because you want to be sticking Fate on her. Ageless Chrome, everything's +2 for your opponent. They need to essentially pass for a turn to play Fate Worth and Death. Jed Razugi asks, what do you think it will take to make winning by honor a viable strategy? Again, Lion, we're getting close with it, along with Crane. I think it'll be a few more. I think a few cards, we're not far off it. I mean, Honor Rocket for Unicorn works. I almost actually want to give it the other day unintentionally. I flipped 2 Yurts and 2 rebuilds in my hand. So bidded 1, then gained 8 honor. I was on 24 honor with Matsu 7 Legion out, and another one on the bench, 2 charges in hand. So done 2 of them for the airing. Won the game. My opponent couldn't do anything. So I mean, obviously that is a janky combo. Again, going back to that question a bit from earlier, but good fun. So yeah, I don't think it would take a lot. I think 1 or 2 cards. I think Crane and the Lion box should have them. Crane should kind of be the opposite to what the Scorpion is. If you have less than 6 on her, if you have less than 6 on her, maybe Crane with a few techniques to boost her on her, and if you have 15 on her, if you have 18 on her. So like if you have 15 on her, honor an honored character, or 18 so you can't instantly bid for it. But then you play away of the Constrantium and you can get it, and then you can straighten them do. So it kind of keeps that matching they are going for. So the Unicorn and Lion quite mirror. The Crane and the Scorpion are kind of polar opposites as well, and one being more about honor and one being about dishonor. That could be quite good fun. Mark Armitage asks, what do I anticipate to be the main difference between playing in a large tournament in the US compared to the UK? I'm not really expecting a lot. Obviously, I'm expecting the time difference to play a big part. I'm expecting to be cream crackered a lot easier. Basically on time zones. Apart from that, I'm not expecting a great deal of difference. All of the Kotais I've been to in Europe have been perfectly run. Very minimal hiccups. And as this is FFG's flagship in their store, I would expect it to run just as well. Rather than people who are volunteering to do it. So I would expect it to run smooth. I would expect the exact same thing. It'd be interesting to see if playing against American players, seeing what the meta is slightly different. So quite looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm expecting more food breaks, if you want me to be stereotypical and British. And I will turn up with my tea. So Marie Sorensen asked about getting rid of the second player fate, an overcorrection. Will the first player now be favoured? again, going back to as I said earlier, Maurice, it depends. Depends what you're playing against, depends what you're playing. Greg Miller asked, do I think Bayashi Shoju or Kichiko will be the more pushing for a more complicated infinite coup of the Emperor by manipulating the new Emperor, or do you think the two will work in unison, seeming opposite or opposing manner, and eventually gets the greater clans in ways that the Scorpions use are best for the Emperor? Yes, I think they are going that kind of way, of those two just being dicks. But obviously the Emperor's kind of got his own plans with Tottori. Again, looking forward to seeing where the meta goes. Dave Gross asks, do you think it's worth splashing Dragon without Hawk Tattoo? Again, depends on your deck, depends on what you want your deck to do. There's still some awesome stuff in Dragon. I'm seeing a lot more Lion play that sort of splash, being able to hit a covert Tottori Honoured. Yeah, just murder you. It's dumb. I still think Dragon have a lot of very good splashable cards. Again, it's one of the considerations I'm still looking forward with Worlds. Even still splashing Hawk Tattoo, just to give me a few more movement tricks. Dan Stolworthy asks, so he's a fellow Unicorn player, I've met him quite a few times. What are my tips for Unicorn Mirror Match for outpacing the opponent? Play smarter. One thing I have learnt is Unicorn is actually more of a mid-range deck than an instant win deck. So be smart, put Fate on characters, don't play the cheaper dudes, let them have a win or two. Build up for turn 3. That'll be the swing turn. They're not going to get to your stronghold. Make sure you don't allow that to happen. But build yourself up for turn 3. Then go mental and get 3 promises in a turn. Pace yourself. Don't outrush them. Let them come to you. Go a little bit defensive. Get a few cards more in hand. Don't waste your cards. Then suddenly you can just counter attack when they're least expecting it. Where the Unicorn's a big help as well. Ivan Browning asks, what do I think is the best strategy for a new player? Have fun. Play for all 7 clans. I mean, that's the joy of this being over at CCG, is if they do buy a core set, they can play any clan. Have a little play, see which one they feel best suits their play style, then develop on that. If they're not enjoying it, switch clan and go something completely different. That would be my best advice for a new player. Have fun with it. Kyle Braunhorse, do I think Golden Plains Outpost will make a comeback? And what am I hoping to see in the Unicorn pack? So more movement tricks would be awesome. More readying effects. And yeah, more cavalry, more cool cavalry. Ways of making more military attacks. So similar to Captive Audience. So I'd love to see an opposite of that as well. More Bushido. I think there's some cool stuff like that. I'd love to see like Gaijin Pepper in some form as well. So some form of explosion, maybe similar to Sabotage. Something like that would be really cool. Like a way of blowing up hold-ins with Gaijin Pepper. Like lose 2 on it, essentially assassinate a holding would be pretty cool. Yeah. Zach McKenzie, who is your favourite splash for Lion? So again, Dragon's still pretty solid for Lion. Again, I love seeing Unicorn. I love seeing a Lion player flip something like a Captive Audience midway through. Oh, right, we're now military as well. Yeah, it's really fun. We managed to actually get, I think it was 5 military conflicts off against a Lion the other day. I think it was actually 6 because I assassinated the first attack to stop them triggering the stronghold, so I could have the upper hand, and then they managed to trigger it from a Captive Audience at me, and it was good fun. Yeah, it was 5 military attacks. Paul Avers asks, any prediction for the mystery October 10th product announcement? So I spoke about this earlier, about Tottori and an Emerald Champion. I think it's going to be a Toshi Rambo season box, essentially. So it'd be something like a deluxe box, a few characters, actually Satoshi Rambo in itself, so the Scorpion Province in it. I can also see it having stuff like, again, Emerald Champion version of Totori, the Shoju version as well, maybe the Totori being neutral as well, but like be super dumb and super strong. Yeah, I could see that being fun. Yeah, maybe some new provinces chucked in there as well to do with Toshi Rambo. I think that could be quite good fun. So sort of like a story-driven pack, boost everyone up. You know, that could be quite thematic. The other announcement could be something along the lines of, I've heard rumours the Mantis Spider Clan. I don't think they will. I think if they wanted other clans, they would have had to put them in quite earlier. I don't feel like it'll be a multiplayer box just yet. I think that won't come if they're going to do something with it, sort of done to what they've done like the draft packs with Game of Thrones. That won't come until post Worlds. They're doing some beta sessions of multiplayer. I think that is kind of like the final. Here's what's going on, guys. What do you guys think? Set for it. So I'm reckoning a Toshi Rambo deluxe box. That would be my guess. With some cool like pre-order bonuses would be pretty cool. That could be quite good fun. John Farrow asks, what cards do you think should be on the restricted list and why, and what should be taken off? So I kind of explained this a little bit earlier. There's quite a few. Reprieve should probably go on there. Hidden Moon, possibly if they're going to put Ambush on there. Captive Audience, Talisman is the rumour as well. A lot of people kicking off about that. I don't think you'll see Let Go on there. I don't think Let Go is that bad. Arnold Piet asks, what is love? Love is knowing that your missus is supporting you and going to Worlds. Even though you get married afterwards. And it's helping you do the insane stuff. That is love. Augustus Sergio Johnson, sorry if I'm butchering any names, asks, with Hot Tattoo era, do I think the Dragon Splash will be becoming less prevalent, or Let's Go is still important to today's meta? Let Go is still important. Again, I think you can still make the same splash work. I still think Hawk Tattoo is powerful. Move-in effects are powerful. Dispatch is awesome. I think moving in effects are still super strong. Again, Mirumoto Fury, it's a restricted card, but it's restricted for a reason. It's still very strong. And yeah, I still think Dragon Splash won't be less prevalent. I would be interested to see a Splash breakdown at some point of what people are running at Worlds as well, atop with the actual what decks they're running. So I'd like to see that as a breakdown. Then that could be quite interesting. I think that's something I'm actually going to keep note of across my many games if we get there. So Tony Gleason asked the same sort of question to do with the restricted list. See the other answers for that, man. Joe Stevens. So with the lock-in mechanic becoming both a blessing and a curse, and them changing things so rotation moves a bit faster, do you foresee a lock cards like the Stronghold only, or whatever, or doing something else to make the support of the roles more appealing? Splashing more of a clan is nice, but not really giving up access to locked cards. So I think support of should have had something else with it. Obviously, you are sacking the restricted cards and sort of any bonus fate from defending or attacking properly, but you are still getting that extra. I think when more and more clans have support of roles available, I think Phoenix Splash is a weak splash for some decks at the moment, and then making sort of do with the one or two. I think Lion could really make use of support the Phoenix at the moment, something like Path of Man, win by 5, trigger my Stronghold, and gain 2 fate to help fund it isn't bad. Display of Power is still really good as well and really handy. I don't know. I think we'd have to wait. This stronghold only could possibly come into it, especially when you start to get more strongholds out. Yeah, I mean we're starting to see a lot of cards. Obviously with them speeding up rotation, I think it just tries to encourage people to do something a bit different and actually think about the roles they're taking. Rather than just looking at provinces, you've got to look at what other cards you can play and splash as well. Yeah, no, I think we could see long term, so sort of in about 3 years' time, this stronghold only. But not for now, no. And a friend suggested maybe giving access to clan-specific cards like Way of the Crane or something like that. So that could work with support off, so you can play the Way of. Would be pretty cool. Again, it would make the Scorpion one a bit too overpowered. Way of the Scorpion, you Dishonored. I think it does open some broken effects in the game there. So Alexandra Broder asks, how do I think the Scorpion clan pack will affect the meta? Scorpion seems to be getting some new fun toys, but the countermeasures given to the other factions seem more powerful. So I think they've done that for a smart choice. So the same reason Unicorn have got a new character to try and prevent some of those cards. I think it's going to be interesting. I think with it coming out this close to Worlds, again, it could kind of throw a spanner in the works for Scorpion players if they've got too many toys. As the old expression goes, too many chefs in the kitchen. Spoil the broth. I think that could come into effect. And I'm hoping it does. I think, though, it's going to be hard to practice against Scorpion, again, because there's going to be no real meta for them. But yeah, it could bust everything open. Who knows? We'll find out in a month and a couple of days. So if I could share tea with one Rokugan figure, who would it be? Why? So it'd probably be Totori. And it'd be to find out what the Emperor told him or what he wrote. Oh, sorry. I think Totori would be an interesting one to sit down with, along with maybe some of the ID traders and stuff like that. I think it'd be cool to sit down with them and just hear their stories. Again, Moto Juro would be super interesting. Yeah. RNF, if I could remove one card from existence of the game, and which card would I remove my backhanded compliment, because that's cost me way too many games. I'm kind of a big guy. It's not a neutral promo. For Worlds, I kind of get why it's backhanded because of it being the Crane clan, the Scorpion clan hosting. Kind of get that, but it would have been cool to get something else. But still, I'm not going to be bitter about it. Again, I'm in love with the folder. The folder is beautiful. But yeah, I like the way they've kept thematic as well with those tournaments. But yeah, I'd get rid of backhand. It's costing me too many games at the moment. I hate it. I can see why they went Seeker roll for Scorpion. Toller still asks, what cards would you change to balance the meta and how? And does the meta need balancing? I think, again, it's kind of in a good place. You're always going to have a stronger clan and a weaker clan. It's the way any card game works. I think at the moment it kind of seems to be Scorpion are here, everyone else is here. But this balance can keep changing, and it's starting to sometimes go like that with Dragon and Crab, and then rotate around. Scorpion is just kind of staying still towards the top, and everyone else is sort of fighting here and here. But I think you're going to have that no matter what happens. There's always going to be that clan on top, and a few clans who can just beat that clan but won't do as well in tournaments because they lose to everyone else because they're on that par. Which sounds a bit weird, but makes sense in my head. Wellbound asks, does the sun always shine on the righteous? Yes. I think if you do good things, positive energy will happen to you, which is the light of Amaterasu. Joshua S. Saunders asks, do I think we will see the Scorpion clan clue in the LCG? I hope so. I think we're kind of getting close to that in our RP at the moment. So I'll have to let you know about that when we get a bit closer. But I hope so. I would love to see the Scorpion clan queue. Last few questions of the L5R, and I'm going to switch back over to the Heracles questions. So Melissa Palmer asks, what song do I plan to use in the K-pop dance-off, and how will you beat your competition? Again, there will be a video coming up on one of Matt World's of how I'm planning on winning. But it's just practice, train, the same as what I'm doing with L5R. It's quite hard to K-pop while on Shokoku at the moment, but I'm trying. If I can master that, then, you know, and no, I'm not telling you what song. You have to wait and see. It's going to be a bit of a crowd pleaser though. Make the crowd pop. Question, how does the removal of second player impact unicorn players' decision, including where the unicorn? I think where the unicorn still helps. I think, again, where you're choosing before you know what you've drawn. I feel like if it was the other way around, it would be done. Like, oh, I've drawn one of the unicorn, I've got my Shadow Builder, keeping it. I think it can help. I mean, like I say, I still run one of. It can sometimes put people off pace, especially if there's something like 2 or 3 Fate on a ring. And you play that and they're like, or they're losing out on honor, thinking they're going to go first. You're going to ping the air ring off them, and suddenly they're again on that back foot of pressure, and having to defend and not break provinces. So I think, again, the floor rules haven't changed, so you still get a choice. So I don't know. I think it does go to a 50-50 chance again. I think it depends on the style of deck and what you want your deck to achieve. And last question is, what is Rex Bingsley? And he asks, what is my least favourite clan to play against and why? I don't really have someone I like dislike playing against. It would probably be Crab, just because they are a pain. They're quite boring, they're quite stale, they're very defensive, I'm very aggro. So I do find games against Crab do tend to go to time a lot in tournaments. Sorry, we have got a few more questions come through on the L5R, so we'll keep going with those. Then we'll pop back across and pick out some of the Heracles ones. But yeah, I think Crab in a tournament, I hate playing against. Scorpion, I hate playing against a certain guy, Scorpion, we have in my playgroup, because he's a very strong player. I try to beat him as a pain. But I wouldn't say I hate playing against him, I would learn something. And learn to do something different. So there's no clans I really hate playing against. There's clans I hate seeing and drawing against would be Crab though, because I know that game's going to go to time and that frustrates me. Roland Grubber asks, do you think we'll see more clans in play like Mantis or Spider? Not for about 2-3 years. Not for a while. I think again it would be similar to how we've now kind of got the Mantis. It would just be neutral characters until then, really. Michael McCormick is, what have been my favourite moments since L5R launched? Probably achieving Hatamoto in Birmingham. That feeling, there was quite a few of the Unicorn guys hanging around as well. I got the biggest pop, which was really cool to see. I know it's unsportsmanlike, but it was cool just having that cheer and that support, and how amazing I felt achieving it. Again, it's something I've been close to a few times. To finally get that mat in hand was an amazing feeling. Yeah, really, really good feeling. Really good positive messages going into the Top Cut game as well. Just even on Facebook from people I know, and at the event, people just come up to me, good luck, good luck. I think that is, and doing stuff like this, we've been 70 minutes now asking questions about L5R and Heracles, and again, I'm getting a massive high off this as well, which is really cool. Mathis Gillum asks, do you think there will be a better fixed card via errata, or put an incorrect card unfixed on the restricted list, e.g. Hawk Tattoo? I feel it's better to fix it. So kind of what they've done to Hawk Tattoo is the best way around it. So something something like Let Go, as opposed to Mirror's Fury Dragon only, removing splash options, is a good way to fix it. I think fixing them is better than restricting them, but some cards, if you try and play around with, get a bit complicated. So I can understand why they also have a restricted list. I can see both points of it. Ugh. And the last question now: if I could change one rule back to the old rules, which would you? Winning by enlightenment. I think obviously where there is now ways of getting 5 rings in a game in a turn, which I have done, I feel like enlightenment should be a win con that should come back. I don't know whether it's me being biased because I can get 3 attacks in a turn, but I feel like enlightenment. I mean, Phoenix have a way of keeping rings as well, which is fun, but I feel like enlightenment could be a good way of could be a fun way. So let's try and pick out some HeroClix ones. So Ben Dring asks, sorry, it's going back up. What's my favourite HeroClix to play of all time? Any age out there. I love playing Dark Avengers. Is my favourite team. Is what hooked me into the game, essentially. Again, Hank McCoy asked a very similar question. What team keywords are you particularly fond of playing? Again, check out my YouTube. I am doing the A to Z clicks. So we are doing all sorts of keywords on that of literally the A to Z theme teams, which is good fun. I'm enjoying that. We've got some more videos coming up this evening on that. Eternals was good fun. Dark Avengers was good fun. Bombshells are good fun. Christopher Bogan asks, what's my favourite HeroClix figure to build around? I don't think I have one. Again, I try and pick a theme out or a couple of figures that I want to play at that time and build a team around them. So there's no sort of go-to figure for myself. James Peters asks, what do I think Pauper is a viable HeroClix format? Yes. Yeah, I think it's a good fun. It makes use of those commons and uncommons that you don't play. And yeah, I think it's really good fun. Mark Hargis asks, is there a way of playing Click solo? You can play against yourself. No harm in that. Build 2 teams. Know not to be biased to yourself. Play yourself. Sometimes you're your own hardest, toughest opponent because you know what your own person's thinking. TJ Bazilla asks, if I won HeroClix World, what would you design as the new figure and what trait would they have? I would love a Dark Avengers Ghost. That would be pretty cool. Phase teleport. Some form of weird thing to do with just anyone with an armor keyword of being able to like control them. Essentially mind control. -3 to their defense, +3 to my attack. Would be really cool in the way like he controls them. Again, big Dark Avengers fan. A new Norman Osborn Iron Patriot would be really cool as well. Something with leadership. So a Norman Osborn that pops out of the Iron Patriot suit would be really cool. Michael Hilton. If I had to pick one character to become a new entity equipment piece, who would it be? So I don't really understand the question there. So if I had to design a new character with an equipment, again going non-IP, something like Silver Surfer, and even going IP, Silver Surfer separate to his surfboard would be really cool. Again, the range would be pretty cool with stuff like Salba and some of their legendary weapons as well would be pretty cool. Carlos Quinton says, what do we do with all my bulk unwanted clicks? Like the common rares and uncommons with no real value. I just give them away to new players. It's a good way of getting new players engaged in the game. I'll sell them pretty cheap to them. Or trade, like we've got a few guys who just love playing with as many different figures as they can, and we'll trade like pretty good in my favour towards them. But they're getting like 100 figures for like a $30 figure, and they're super happy because they haven't got to buy 2 bricks to get that many figures. They've just got to trade 1, which they're not going to use properly. To me, and I just give them like a bag full, and they're happy. Eric Buller asks, what's my reaction to and my theory to Star Trek going to a gravity feed instead of a full set? I don't really have a theory on why. I'm kind of glad they didn't because I don't like Star Trek. So. unpopular opinion, but as you can see, I am a Star Wars fan. Yeah. David Larson asked, do you think it's time we had a core Fantastic Four team again? Yes. And Doom. Bring back Doom and the Surfer, please. Jason Alvery asks, what is my least favourite modern age game element? ID cards still. I still think they're dumb. I will use them if we're playing super competitively, but I'm not a huge fan of them unless they bring some form of thematic value. Like, I'll still use the Harley and Ivy one in sort of, if I'm playing bombshells, to bring out more bombshells. It's fun. Michael McGreesh asked, did I expect to get this many responses? No. Nope. As I said earlier, I was expecting around about 40. Optimistically, I think we're around about 100. Rob Wiener asks, how much wood could woodchuck Chuck Norris woodchuck if a woodchuck? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck was Chuck Norris? All of it. He's Chuck Norris. John Moralo asks, which current modern age HeroClix figure best represents their comic book persona? So power, look, and costume. I think the Civil War OP Tony Stark and Cap do. I love the way they mirror each other, but one for range, one for combat. And the design of them is beautiful. I'm so happy I own both of those. I love the Civil War set. It was probably my favourite set. It's my first set into Clicks, and I love it. Sorry, I'm just flicking through just where time is getting along and try not to redub over questions. So, Matt Grenisha asks, if I could play at one venue store in the world, where would it be and who would be the one player I'd play against? So I feel like I would learn a lot playing from a world player. I'd love to play somewhere in the States. Anywhere. As a matter of fact, if any of the guys are watching, let me know where to go play in Minnesota. I'm actually going to grab a game or two while I'm out there for Worlds. Ross Dixon 2 asks, which starting line is the best bang for your bucks on that super rare Wolverine? So this is part of the actual giveaway. Depends. It depends on your team, depends what you want to use them for. Again, there's no direct answer to it. They're pretty good. They're both really good. I prefer his higher points click, just because his Wolverine should stick around a bit longer. Fred Benicia asks, what country am I based out of? The UK. Jolly old England. Groot or Carnage? Asked George Hims. In a fight, Carnage, I reckon. In terms of 10-point Colossal Retaliators, even. I think Groot has the disadvantage of your opponent character without wit. And Carnage can just spawn more pogs and heal. I mean, I love playing Carnage at 100 points as well, with a couple of pre-symbiotes, and then poop out more on a Colossal Retaliation, because he has those Colossal Retaliations mid-click. Just both using them at 10 points. Actually, I'd go Carnage for both of them. Best meta team right now, asked Katrina McDonald Himes. I don't know. Again, I'm a bit far out of the meta at the moment, and don't really focus too much on it. I focus on what I want to play and how to beat it. I think Blackbird and shitload of IDs, Lockjaw, that sort of thing is just dumb at the moment. I felt like it's kind of dominating the map. Howard Kenwood, it has been said that all new modern age legal figures, Star Trek figures, Borg, etc., will be released as single boosters rather than 5 figures. Do I consider that's a good move for the franchise? So I kind of spoke about Star Trek itself moving. I think I do have my own biases, but I do think, again, gravity feeds work in the fact they can get players in on a lot cheaper of a thing. I think sometimes it would be cool just to mix it up and do something like a bigger set in one, if that makes sense. Something like, and then still swap it out. So turtles every now and again go into a full brick and then chop them back down into gravity feeds, or even do a set which does both. So you've got a chance of getting one chasing that brick or one chasing that little booster box. So I think that could be fun. I think it could be a good way of doing both and getting players in cheaper as well. Because if you're only after 1 or 2 figures from the set, you can just buy £9 and get 3 boosters and might get 3 super rares. It plays into the lottery a bit more, but Christopher Mendoza asks, what franchise do I think adding to HeroClix would create the biggest push for new players? I think IndieClip's good. There's so many cool properties out there at the moment. Like if someone were to put out, say, a Punisher, Alien set, a bit horror clicks back, Power Rangers could bring people back in. Rick and Morty could. Something like a Rick and Morty Adult Swim animated thing could do that. Star Wars obviously would. An Overwatch set, I think, would bring some new players in. And I would love to see an Overwatch set. Even something like Magic, 40k, since they do have some rights to to Warhammer, a 40k set could. Cross players, because they're kind of already in the store. Again, I'd love to see an L5R set for HeroClix. That would be pretty dope. That could be good fun. So that is all the questions from there, I believe. Let's just go double check the L5R one last time. I think that's it. I think we are done for questions for now. Again, don't forget, the prize draw for this will be done at 8 AM when I do the final little wrap-up video. We're currently at 10:30 now, so the next live stream will probably be about 11. It's going to be an L5R game. Just give me some time for my voice to rest a little bit. And I will catch you in that video soon. Thank you for everyone who has asked questions. It's been 82 minutes of me talking, so thanks. I think we still got some listeners in now. We've had people drop in and out. So thank you all for watching and listening and leaving questions. It was super cool going through some of those. Sorry I couldn't help with every question. And sorry I probably missed some as well. But we tried to get as many through as we could. So thank you for watching this part and living it. And again, thank you ever so much for the donation so far. Again, link for the GoFundMe, which is all this is for, is below. So catch you in the next video. Peace.